Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Rebirth, Octopus at the Beginning, Becoming the God of Cthulhu. Chapter 11, Open Black Lens Bracket Name, Lu Feng Close Black Lens Bracket. Species, Phantom Octopus. Bloodline, Rare Level Medium. Gender, Male. Age, 1 month 30 years. Status, Infancy. Weight, 2,000 kilograms 5,000 kilograms. Strength, 20,000 kilogram 50,000 kilogram. Speed, 50 meters per second 150 meters per second. Defense, 2,000 kilogram endurance 5,000 kilogram endurance. Skills, color changing camouflage, deadly venom, high pressure water cannon, flash technique, phantom clone. Talents, regeneration, advanced precognition, detection technique, almighty sensing, episode of spiritual illusion. Open black lens bracket energy points, 36,500 close black lens bracket. After reading the attribute page, Lu Feng showed doubts. Although his basic attributes have become stronger, his skills and talents have changed greatly. Change, and disguise, merge into one, and venom, becomes venom. Precognition, became, advanced prediction, and induction, and night vision, were combined into one, becoming almighty induction. This species evolution has changed him greatly. He can feel that he has changed a lot from before, especially in the brain area. Now his sensing has become a talent. He is sensing the situation within his body every moment. The sensing range is 5 kilometers in radius. And the information fed back by this sensor will first be filtered through his 8 tentacle heads, and then sent to the main brain for decision making. The thinking speed is several times faster than before. At the same time, the body size has also evolved from 30 meters to about 45 meters. I also got a new skill, let's see what its attributes are. Lu Feng excitedly clicked on Phantom Clone. Skill name, Phantom Clone. Skill type, Auxiliary Combat Skills. Skill introduction. Use one of your own tentacles as a media to condense an unconscious clone. The attributes of the clone are 1/3 of the original body and have no skills or talents. The behavior of the clone is controlled by the original body. If the main brain of the clone is destroyed, it will die directly. Currently, you can condensing 3 clones. Hell, isn't this a skill customized just for me? Now I can be a qualified 6th former. Haha, Lu Feng said happily. It's better to grow to maturity first and then start to gather clones. Open black lens bracket ding. Can the host use 10,000 energy points to grow to adulthood? Close black lens bracket. Yes. Open black lens bracket ding. Can the host use 10,000 energy points to grow to maturity? Close black lens bracket. Yes. Grow immediately. Another 10 seconds passed, and his size suddenly grew from 45 meters to 90 meters. The terrifying size has almost caught up with the mutant Kanglong. If Lu Feng were to face the mutant Kanglong now, he would definitely turn around and run away. Yes, you read that right, just turn around and run away. His fighting philosophy is to crush, absolutely crush. Otherwise, he would never take action easily. What if he meets the chosen one? Waves of hunger swept over him, and then he took out the mutated Kanglong's corpse and ate it. Open black lens bracket ding. The host devours mutated Kanglong and gains 1,000 energy points. Close black lens bracket. 10 minutes later, he had eaten 1/5 of the entire mutated Kanglong. As his body grew larger, his appetite also increased a lot. Well, the feeling of being full is comforting. Lu Feng touched his body with his tentacles and said. After taking a look at energy points, he already had 66,500 points, but the next evolution required 100,000 points, so he still had to continue accumulating for a while. But he estimated that after eating this mutated blue dragon, he could get another 200,000 energy points. Evolving once is enough, but in order to reach maturity, a few energy points are needed. After thinking about it, he interrupted his 3 tentacles with 3 snaps, and he suppressed a sense of pain. Young master has spent your hard-earned money on this, so your avatar must be powerful. Then he stretched out an intact tentacle and said to the 3 broken tentacles, Phantom Clone. Suddenly 3 streams of blue light shot from his tentacles to the 3 broken tentacles. After a few minutes of condensation, 3 octopuses with the same size as him but one size smaller appeared in the cave on the seabed. Through his induction, these 3 clones are connected to his consciousness, and just like one of his tentacles, he can command the clones to do anything. Then let's give you a name first. I'll call you number 1, number 2, and number 3. For Lu Feng, who is a bad namer, this is not bad. He immediately ordered the clone number 1 to swim to the northern sea, and swim all the way north. He wants to test how far the clone can be controlled to prevent unexpected situations. As for number 2 and number 3, he didn't let them sit idle, and began to multitask and control them to perform some complex behaviors. As he experimented, he found that these clones were unable to unleash his skills and talents, could only use physical attacks, and had only 1/3 of his own attributes and body size. Sure enough, it was as described in the skill. 10 minutes later, there was a pain in his head. MD, clone number 1 was eaten by a giant beast in the sea. FK, Lu Feng was speechless. Number 1, who had spent all his efforts to condense, was so cold, but through the eyes of clone number 1, he saw a giant shark swallowing him. All the clones have the same vision as him. The giant shark is at least 150 meters long. And his avatar is only 30 meters tall, which happens to be the prey of this kind of shark. Then he cut off one of his tentacles and formed a new clone number 1. The clone number 1 just swam north for 15 minutes. He could still control the clone like an arm about 15 kilometers away. Oh, it seems we have to continue testing. Lu Feng directed 3 clones to swim in different directions this time. At the same time, he is always paying attention to the situation around the 3 clones. If he encounters a more powerful creature, he will secretly record it in his heart. According to the habits of creatures, they will have their own territory of activity. As long as he takes note of these powerful creatures, he will be in much less danger in the future. His broken tentacles also grew back during this period. If he deliberately restored the injured tentacles, they would grow at a speed visible to the naked eye. As the clone continued to swim farther away, he also detected information about some areas. For example, the sea to his north was the territory of a giant great white shark, only 15 kilometers away from him. In the sea to his south is a giant turtle, the guy who defeated the mutated azure dragon before, 50 kilometers away from him. The last one is the eastern sea area, where a giant python is entrenched, 70 kilometers away from him. This time he concentrated on controlling the 3 clones, and all of them avoided danger in time. When his 3 clones were 500 kilometers away from him, his control began to decline. When the distance was 600 kilometers, he could only control the clones to do the most basic actions, and he couldn't even fight. When it exceeds 700 kilometers, the control ability is directly lost. It's better to control the clone to hunt for me first, Lu Feng said. After mastering all the skills, he starts his hunting journey. Lu Feng took 3 clones to the giant shark sea area in the north, because there are a large number of shellfish, which are the species that octopuses like to eat. Moreover, these creatures are not basically aggressive and focus on defense. It just so happens that Lu Feng's talent is relatively restrained against these kinds of shellfish creatures. As long as he doesn't encounter that giant shark, he can experience what is called a shellfish buffet. Ah, I smell the smell of shellfish snacks. Sneaky, here he comes, Lu Feng said in a confused tone. Several tentacles instantly shot towards the huge shellfish on the seabed, and he caught 4 shellfish about 10 meters in size. In his perception, there are tens of thousands of shellfish creatures here. If they are allowed to develop stably here for a period of time, they will definitely take off. The shellfish creatures he captured thought they could defend themselves against his attacks with their carapace, but unfortunately they thought too much. He could break the shells of the smaller shellfish by wrapping them around with his tentacles. As for the larger shellfish, he could break their shells with just a few shots of the high-pressure water cannon. Suck. It's delicious. Lu Feng happily swallowed the flesh and blood of these shellfish. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 200 energy points by swallowing the mutated oyster. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 200 energy points by swallowing the mutated razor clam. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 150 energy points by swallowing the mutated scallop. Close black lens bracket. ... Although these shellfish don't give many energy points, they are a lot. At the same time, his 3 clones also helped him catch shellfish from the bottom of the sea, and he just had to eat them. After eating for more than 20 minutes, he burped. Hoo-hoo, I'm full, comfortable, Lu Feng said lazily. He found a nearby cave to hide in, and then controlled 3 clones to help him continue to catch shellfish. All the shellfish he caught were gathered near the cave, and he could just show off when he was hungry. This is life. Isn't it more comfortable than those 996 and 955? Squint for a while, Lu Feng began to take a nap. He spent the next 2 days in such comfort, but the smell of blood in this area became stronger and stronger with his killings, and he couldn't hide it even if he tried his best to cover it up. The giant shark that dominates this sea area swam over after smelling the smell. Soon this guy appeared in Lu Feng's senses. After 2 days of absence, this giant shark became bigger again. It was almost 200 meters long, twice as big as him. Detection technique. Name: Ancient Mutated Great White Shark. Bloodline: Mutated Atavism. Gender: Female. Status: Adolescence. Weight: 60 tons. Power: 150 tons. Speed: 60 meters per second. Defense: 50 tons. Endurance. Skills: Crash, Tail Strike, Deadly Bite, Swallow. Talent: Behemoth Pressure. This guy's attributes are better than those of Mutated Kanglong, damn. And he is still in his youth, so he must find a way to escape quickly. It is impossible to be tough in the front, and it is impossible to be tough in this life. He then controlled the 3 clones to escape in different directions, but his body remained hidden in the cave. Ancient Mutated Great White Shark immediately noticed a clone of him, suddenly accelerated and chased after him. At this time, there was still no movement in Lu Feng's body. He had to wait until it was absolutely safe before taking action. 3 minutes later, the first clone was chased and eaten by the other party, and a burst of pain entered his brain. Soon the Ancient Mutated Great White Shark was chasing another clone. Lu Feng couldn't figure out how this great white shark positioned his clone, so he continued to control the 2 clones to flee quickly. But this time the great white shark chase took longer, 9 minutes. Looking at the sea area where the Ancient Mutated Great White Shark slowly returned, Lu Feng could probably guess what method this guy used to locate his position. 80% of them used the scent detection method, but it didn't chase the 3rd clone, which showed that its positioning had a distance limit, which was almost 200 kilometers away. Once beyond this distance, the great white shark cannot detect his scent. After trying out the opponent's hunting method, Lu Feng gathered 2 clones and fled in different directions again. The great white shark once again chased a clone, killed his clone at the same distance and at the same time, and then turned to chase another clone. At this time, the surviving clone of number 3 returned to his original body and stayed in place as a real eye and bait to observe the east direction of the great white shark. And his body rushed towards the southern sea very quickly. 9 minutes later, clone number 3 discovered the returning great white shark. Lu Feng immediately controlled clone number 3 to escape in the opposite direction. This series of operations was so smooth and flawless. After the main body escaped 500 kilometers, he could no longer sense the great white shark and his clone. At this time, he only felt a pain coming into his brain. It seems that number 3 is also a Chiji Smita, Lu Feng said in his heart. He looked towards the northern sea with cold eyes. Don't let me grow up, or you will suffer a lot. He looked at his energy points, and found that he had accumulated 12,500 points in the past 2 days. Gotta keep accumulating. Since the north is no longer available, then go hang out in the python's territory in the east. However, pythons generally judge the location of prey based on body temperature and smell, while cut pythons generally don't like to move much, which is much better than great white sharks. The 3 clones gathered together again and followed him to the eastern sea. The sea area of this giant python is already far away from the land, and the giant turtle is the closest to the land, but Lu Feng least wants to meet that guy. How terrifying is the legendary bloodline? More than an hour later, he appeared near the python's territory. Lu Feng could not find the python through induction. Where is this hottie hiding? Isn't he hiding to hide himself? Lu Feng asked suspiciously. However, There are many, many fewer shellfish in this sea area, but there are many large fish. Are you planning to give me a change of taste? After dessert, are you ready for the main course? Yes, yes, I can eat any kind of tuna, sea catfish, mackerel, and sea bass. I don't choose. Hee hee. He immediately controlled 3 clones to drive away the fish not far away, and his body was disguised as a huge rock. When all the fish are rushed to the main body, he will blind the eyes of all the fish. Who can be more stubborn than me? Gaga, Lu Feng started to squeak again. 10 minutes later, a large number of fish were driven over by 3 clones, and Lu Feng slowly swam up. Seeing that the fish did not notice him, suddenly his body erupted with a violent bright light. The fish were instantly frightened, and some of them were so frightened that they fled in all directions, like headless flies. Then Lu Feng opened his huge mouth and waited for the fish to swim into his mouth. 8 tentacles kept picking up the unconscious fish and stuffing them into his mouth. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 300 energy points by swallowing mutated mackerel. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 300 energy points by swallowing mutated sea bass. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 300 energy points by swallowing mutated mackerel. Close black lens bracket. ... Lu Feng once again experienced what freedom of seafood means. Sure enough, life in the ocean is much more enjoyable than on land. Thinking about how many things those tigers and bears had to do to catch a prey, I caught a group of mutated fish in just an instant. He was full soon, but there were still many unconscious mutated fish that he had not eaten. He directly shot them to death one by one and put them into the system backpack. These mutated fish, which were only 2 or 3 meters in size, did not occupy many backpack slots. After collecting all the mutated fish, he counted them and found that he had obtained 52,100 energy points from this hunt, and there were still 261 mutated fish in his backpack. As a result, his energy points have accumulated to 17,710, and he can evolve again if he accumulates another 120,000 energy points. Just when he was calculating the energy point, a sense of danger came from the east. This time the danger prediction was clearer and more accurate than before, and he even knew which direction the danger came from. Soon, a giant python with a length of more than 200 meters and a body of more than 10 meters appeared in his senses. Damn it, how can this be a python? This is a dragon, Lu Feng said in surprise. Because he sensed that this giant python not only had 3 horns on its head, but also had 6 legs under its body. This giant python is very similar to the one he met before. The color of the body is green, and the positions of the horns on the head are exactly the same. It seems that this guy has also evolved, and the direction of evolution is towards the dragon. Detection technique. Name: Deep Sea Green Dragon. Bloodline: Legend Level 2. Gender: Male. Status: Mature stage. Weight: 200 tons. Power: 260 tons. Speed: 300 meters per second. Defense: 100 tons. Endurance. Skills: Death Coil, Tail Strike, Bite, Life-Destroying Venom, Petrified. Talents: Behemoth Pressure, Deep Sea Lord, Biological Sensing. I wiped it. Why are you all so awesome? The system evolves faster than Xiaoyi. Are you still playing knitting at this rate? The speed of this green dragon has reached 300 meters per second, so you have to dodge quickly. Otherwise, it would be difficult to run away if caught by it. He didn't want to die again after finally being reborn. Then he took 3 clones and fled towards the west. Not long after, the deep sea green dragon arrived at the area where he had just hunted. The green dragon sniffed the smell of the sea, and then showed a puzzled look. It patrolled the area again before slowly leaving the area. Lu Feng didn't dare to stay at all and kept running away towards the east. He kept running for 2 hours before slowly slowing down. It should be safe now. At this time, the land appeared in his senses, and he sensed many animals and human villages on the land. There are no humans living in the village now. Judging from the buildings in the village, it should be the world he was in before, but now it is occupied by mutant animals. Alas, it seems that the world is very different from before. Lu Feng sighed. No matter what, as long as he lives well anyway, He has no relatives in this world, and his only grandfather also passed away 3 years ago. The only person he cares about is his high school classmate Miao Sunning. He has always had a crush on her and dared not confess to her because his own situation made him feel unworthy of her. However, the other party has always taken good care of him. Miao Sunning is not only the daughter of a high-ranking official in the city, but also the monitor of the class. No one dares to mess with her. She is a very righteous person. This is how Lu Feng feels about her, but now everything has changed. If he appeared in front of her like this, he wouldn't scare her to death. After recalling what he had done when he was a human, he dived into the sea again, found a cave and drilled into it. He hasn't gone out to look for food recently. Anyway, the food he has saved is enough for him to squander for many days. Then he controlled clone number 1 to lurk near his cave, serving as a bait to attract the terrifying beasts that discovered it. He hid comfortably in the cave and fell asleep. Don't worry about the great white shark or the green dragon, just wait for me. There will be a day when I will deal with you. Soon he fell into a deep sleep. The scene turned to the number 1 steel fortress in the north of the Dragon Kingdom. The fortress is now nearing completion, and national leaders at all levels have come to inspect it. Chief number 1 carefully inspected the gate of this steel fortress and the weapon systems in it against the design drawings. Chief, everything is designed strictly according to the drawings, there is no difference at all. A star officer reported. Well, several other steel fortresses in our country have been built in advance. This northern number 1 fortress is the last one to be completed, so I am relieved. Chief number 1 said while looking at the drawings. Chief, please come with me into the fortress and check it out. The officer said. Then everyone entered the fortress, and from the inside they could see the detailed fortress weapons system, including not only automatic laser cannons and automatic artillery, but also a large number of heavy automatic machine guns. Chief, our weapons system was assembled in place immediately. It is not only equipped with various heavy weapons and cruise missiles, but also nuclear weapons. As long as those mutated animals dare to attack, they will never come back. The officer proudly said. Very good. How are the preparations for residences, housing and biological supplies? The chief asked. Reporting to the chief, all the materials have entered the fortress a week ago, which can be used by 300 million people for 10 years. In addition, in terms of housing for the residents. The leader looked at the hesitating general and said, General Liu, just tell me what you want. There are no outsiders here. Yes, Chief. At present, the residential housing is only half constructed. Many refugees entering the fortress have not only failed to advance the construction of the fortress, but have also delayed a lot of construction. Alas, I can't do anything about them. General Liu said helplessly. Oh, come on, take us to see it. The chief said seriously. Soon everyone arrived at the residential area, and tents of various sizes appeared in everyone's sight. Only then did the leader and others understand what General Liu said. Not only did these refugees from various places not participate in the construction work, they also refused to cooperate with the government's arrangements. Originally, these tent areas were supposed to be used to build residential buildings, but now they have become like this. You can't really do anything to these refugees. To put it bluntly, they are all people of the Dragon Kingdom. After reading it, the chief went directly to the refugees and said loudly, Comrades. Folks, do you want to live in a building and have your own house? The chief's voice immediately attracted everyone's attention. When the refugees here saw that he was the number 1 chief of the Dragon Kingdom, they all gathered around as if they had been given blood. Chief, we think, of course we want to have our own house. The crowd said. Very good. Since everyone wants it, roll up your sleeves and do it. I promise that once the building is built, every family will have their own house, and it will be given to you for free. Chief number 1 shouted again while the crowd was shouting, Road. Really, if it's true, then I'll definitely do it. Yes, yes, what are you waiting for? The chief promised everyone a free house, and why don't you hurry up and help? The enthusiasm of the crowd was heightened again, and then the leader shouted again, Everyone who has the strength to report to General Liu will not only be assigned a house first, but also receive food. Long live the chief, long live the Dragon Kingdom. The crowd burst into laughter after hearing the chief's words. Leaders number 2 and 3, who were standing behind Chief number 1, looked at each other and nodded silently. Chief number 1 is indeed stronger than them in terms of popular support, and the two of them admire number 1 very much. General Lu looked at Chief number 1 with admiration, not knowing what to say. Why are you still standing there? Hurry up and build residential buildings while the iron is hot. Chief number 1 said to General Lu. Yes, Chief. I'll do it right now. The scene changed to the East China Sea. Lu Feng woke up slowly, his 8 tentacles kept shaking, and he stretched. Don't ask if the octopus has a waist, it can stretch even if it doesn't. Hoo, it feels so comfortable. After sensing the surrounding situation and finding that there was no problem, he took out the food stored in the system backpack and started to show off. Brother, I'm just hiding and evolving, what can you do to me? Lu Feng said while showing off the mutated sea fish. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 300 energy points by swallowing mutated mackerel. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 300 energy points by swallowing mutated sea bass. Close black lens bracket. In the following days, he ate, slept, and slept. Soon his energy points reached 300,000 points. At this time, there was not much food left in his backpack, only enough for him to eat for another 2 days. Then let's start evolving, Lu Feng said excitedly. His consciousness immediately sank into the evolutionary tree interface. At this time, there were 3 species in his evolutionary direction, namely, Red-Trained Octopus Lord, Abyss Octopus, and Demon Flame Octopus. These 3 types of octopuses all have unique physical characteristics, and although Lu Feng couldn't see their skills and talents, he could tell just from the images. This Red-Trained Octopus Lord is red all over and has the largest size. At first glance, it seems that it is a physical output type. This is not suitable for him, so just pass. And this Demon Flame Octopus has blue flames all over its body. It should be a species that has evolved towards the legal system, and it is not suitable for him. He is currently a dual practitioner of the spiritual and physical systems, and is a bit off track in the pure legal system. Finally, there is the Abyss Octopus. Although this guy looks the least impressive from the outside. It has no light or bright colors all over its body and only has a layer of gray-purple skin. However, this guy has an extra eye in the middle of his forehead. At first glance, he is a spiritual type. Then choose this Abyss Octopus. Lu Feng made up his mind. Open black lens bracket ding. You have met the requirements to evolve Abyss Octopus. Do you want to spend 100,000 energy points to evolve it? Close black lens bracket. Yes, evolve. With a bang, a huge amount of energy erupted from his body, directly exploding the cave where he was hiding. The terrifying evolutionary power surged into his body, and his huge body was immediately enveloped in a layer of purple energy. This terrifying energy has made all creatures within a few thousand miles aware of it. At this time, the great white sharks, green dragons and giant turtles from the east, south and north directions looked in his direction at the same time. Well, another super lord is born, the giant turtle said. Then it stopped watching and began to think deeply. 4 super lords were born in their sea area in such a short period of time. Now the territory may not be enough. There will definitely be a bloody storm in the future, and the giant turtle has already begun to figure out how to deal with it. Previously, the East China Sea was occupied by 3 of their super lords, and the mutated blue dragon was also a super lord, just a little weaker. The area where Lu Feng is located happens to be in the middle of the 3 lords, and this sea area is not too big or too small, which can be regarded as a buffer zone for the 3 of them. That is the neutral zone, where Lu Feng grew up by chance. After dozens of minutes, the violent evolutionary energy slowly submerged into the purple energy shield. At this time, only a huge purple energy ball could be seen suspended on the seabed. No creature dares to come close to this place. This is the energy ball that Lu Feng is evolving. 3 days passed quickly, and some weak creatures returned to this sea area one after another. At this time, the purple energy ball cracked open, and then the clicking sound continued. Puff! A great purple tentacle stretched out from the energy ball, and then the suction cup on the tentacle sucked the energy ball into the tentacle-like water. An octopus with a body length of 120 meters, gray-purple skin all over its body, and 3 eyes on its head appeared in the sea. This guy is none other than Lu Feng. This evolution has transformed him into a completely different creature from the Earth. He adapted to his current body for a while and found that his sensing range had expanded to 5,000 kilometers. He found the giant turtle in his sensing, and then he settled down and began to grow and evolve. Open black lens bracket ding. I would like to ask if the host uses 100,000 energy points to grow to adulthood. Close black lens bracket. Yes. Open black lens bracket ding. Can the host use 100,000 energy points to grow to maturity? Close black lens bracket. Yes. After growing up twice, he took out all the food stored in his backpack and ate it, so that he was mostly full. He threw away the mutated Kanglong skeleton, took a bone spur and started picking his teeth. This Kanglong doesn't even eat. It's gone before I'm full, Lu Feng said comfortably. Let's check out the changes in the attribute page first. Most of the talents and skills will have new changes this time. Open black lens bracket name, Lu Feng close black lens bracket. Species, abyssal octopus. Bloodline, rare level advanced. Gender, male. Age, 1 month 150 years. Status, mature peak stage. Weight, 120 tons 150 tons. Power, 600 tons 750 tons. Speed, 240 meters per second 300 meters per second. Defense, 120 tons endurance 150 tons endurance. Skills, color changing camouflage, deadly venom, high pressure water cannon, flash technique, phantom clone, death whip. Talents, advanced regeneration, advanced precognition, detection technique, almighty sensing, episode of spiritual illusion, spiritual assimilation. Open black lens bracket energy points, 52,000 close black lens bracket. After reading the attribute page, Lu Feng was still very satisfied. This evolution not only improved the basic attributes, but the most important thing is that the measurement unit became tons. There is also an additional skill and talent, and regeneration has also evolved into advanced regeneration. Talent name, spiritual assimilation. Talent type, passive auxiliary. Talent introduction, can subtly assimilate the spiritual thinking of other creatures, allowing you to identify with you, praise you, and even worship you. Close black lens bracket. What the hell kind of talent is this? It's not a combat type, it's purely an auxiliary type. What is the use of assimilating other people's spiritual thinking? It's not just instant assimilation, it's a talent. Lu Feng complained madly in his heart. The system swallowed 300,000 of his energy points to evolve this kind of rubbish talent for me, a black businessman and profiteer. Skill name, Death Whiplash. Skill type, active combat skills. Skill introduction, instantly strengthen your own tentacles, increasing their strength by 10 times, and causing damage 10 times your own strength. This skill is good. Now I have 60 tons of power. If I use this move, I can do 600 tons of damage. Why is there still a peak period? Lu Feng wondered. After looking at my energy points, I only had 52,000. It was not enough to grow and evolve again, so I had to give up temporarily. It's time to replenish his food supply. All the passive food storage has been exhausted by him. Just when he was about to hunt, a human team appeared in his induction. This team was obviously heading towards the seaside. Under the circumstances of Blue Star's great evolution, humans no longer dared to use aircraft unscrupulously. The evolved creatures in the sky can now tear apart steel aircraft at will, so walking on the ground is safer. From what he sensed, there were a total of 6 people in this team, all of whom were strong and well equipped. Don't rush to hunt now. Let's see what this group of humans is planning to do, Lu Feng said in his heart. His sensing range has reached 5,000 kilometers, but Blue Star has also doubled in size, so he can only sense a small part of the land in Dragon Kingdom. Captain, how long until we get there? Asked the second member of the human team. We should be there soon, it's about an hour away. The middle-aged captain replied. They said that the turtle is willing to cooperate with us humans. Is this credible? I always feel that these evolved animals are not good things. The second team member continued. No matter what, if we can reach a cooperative relationship with a deep-sea superlord, it will be worth it. The captain said firmly. Alas, once these evolved and mutated animals break through the third level of evolution, they can ignore most thermal weapons. It's really speechless. We humans only have the highest level of level 2 evolvers, which is far from comparable. Walking on the third level. The 3 team members sighed. Who says otherwise? Animals are born with evolutionary advantages. Once they reach level 3, their IQ will be no lower than that of humans. Level 4 can even communicate with their minds. It's so abnormal. The team member at the end also complained. Okay, just concentrate on your journey and don't forget our mission this time. The captain said. The few people immediately stopped talking and focused on their way. Lu Feng could tell from the conversation between these people that the old turtle seemed to want to cooperate with humans. Moreover, these people seemed to be human evolvers. What other evolutionary levels are there, third and fourth? Lu Feng doesn't know much about the definition of this level division as mentioned by humans, but he has evolved 4 times. I don't know which level counts. No matter what, let's go hunting first. Then he rushed to the northern area with 3 clones. This is the territory of ancient mutated great white shark, but this guy's territory does have a lot of resources. On the way, he found that his 3 clones had also transformed into the trumpet, abyss octopus, and their attributes had also become stronger. Although his size has not increased significantly this time, his strength, speed and defense have still increased significantly. The so-called concentration is the essence, there is nothing wrong with it. In less than an hour, he arrived at the territory of the great white shark. The shellfish here had become larger again. The shellfish that were 2 or 3 meters in the past had become 5 or 6 meters. It seems that everyone is evolving. But it was just enough to be used as his own food, and then he controlled the clone to start catching shellfish for him. He himself keeps showing off these shellfish desserts. His 8 tentacles are stronger than steel whips, and each blow can break the shells of shellfish creatures. These shells were as fragile as paper in front of Lu Feng. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 500 energy points by swallowing the ancient tridacna. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. The host gets 400 energy points by swallowing deep sea mutated conch. Close black lens bracket. ... While eating, he used his sensor to monitor the great white shark, the lord of this sea area. At this time, the great white shark seemed to be sleeping on the bottom of the sea. We have to find a way to kill this big guy. Lu Feng showed a cold expression. Last time I was chased by this guy like a dog, and several of his clones were destroyed. This revenge must be avenged. But there are risks in confronting him head-on, so you have to find a way to trick this guy. As he ate his shellfish feast, he thought about how to kill the other person. After a few minutes, he came up with a feasible plan. Since the opponent was a big fish, he had to throw out the bait to catch it. Then he began to concentrate on eating, accumulating energy points, and preparing to evolve and grow to his peak before executing this combat plan. In the southern sea, a giant turtle more than 200 meters long was standing in front of a group of humans. Your Majesty Jigui, my name is Li Minglong. I have been ordered to come to discuss cooperation with you, the captain said, suppressing the fear in his heart. The 5 team members behind him were trembling with fear and unable to think. This was the first time they had seen such a terrifying giant beast. How could this be a turtle? This is called Xuanwu, they all believe it. Humans, this time I want to cooperate with you humans on the spiritual reign. I wonder if you can bring sincerity. A loud noise came from the mouth of the giant turtle. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.